Hey, so I wanted to go over what I like to wear and what I think everyone should wear as a beginner outside on the asphalt. So we're going to do some hill bombing today. I'm really excited to bomb this hill here. And we're going to definitely put on knee pads because I always wear knee pads pretty much all the time. And anytime I don't, I pretty much instantly regret it. So, what else you should always wear is some elbow pads. I like these pads I use sometimes, and some wrist guards. Super important because these are going to help save your palms from being shredded on the asphalt, which is always a bummer. And I know that feeling of childhood is great sometimes, but not all the time. As you can tell, I'm pretty much fully suited and covered as much as possible. When hill bombing, you want to make sure that you cover as much skin as possible because it sucks to get asphalt burn and concrete burn and all types of other stuff from going down fast on hills and not wearing the right attire. So if you know your terrain and you know your path and you know a hill's coming, maybe opt for longer pants that day. Pick it up. Okay, so I took off my top part because I felt a little bit of resistance adding on my knee pads, and I want to make sure that my legs are fully comfortable so that I can do all the movements that I need to be able to save myself in case I fall. Gear check. Gear checks are super important. Reason why, because your toe stops can come loose when you get a lot of speed, and you really want to make sure they're nice and tight. I did make sure that mine were nice and tight when I chained my wheels, but when you do that, you want to make sure that they're really not going anywhere and that you have full control. I'm rolling of your toe stops. Usually do it without your skates on, probably the easiest and the safest. Most importantly, you want to test out your pads. Make sure that the placement and where you put them is actually where your knees are going to be when you fall. When you're getting a lot of speed, you're going to get the speed wobbles and not know what to do. If that happens, get lower to the floor. That may seem like really hard when you get a lot of speed, but just try your best to suck in your core. And what I mean by that is you don't need to have a super fancy abs or anything else like that. Is if you try to do a crunch, that feeling that you're engaging, that's called your core. No matter what you have right there, that's a core. And that's what keeps you strong and balanced when you're skating. So you want to engage your core and slowly lower so that you can eventually fall to the floor from a reasonable height. Falling only hurts when you do it from up here. Falling from up here down to the floor, you have a lot more space and time to get through, right? Versus being down here and falling, it's gonna hurt a lot less. Okay, so as you can see, we're gonna pan around for a second and you're gonna see the type of slope that we're looking at. Okay, so we have a little bit of a hill. And this is probably your standard hill that you'll run into on occasion. And how you can getting to the bottom of that hill safely and in one piece and really happy on your skates is a few ways. One of the easiest ways is sidestepping. I say probably the best beginner one because it takes the least amount of courage to do. You feel really safe doing it because you don't feel a lot of roll, and you know exactly where you're going because you are claiming your next steps. So this is sidestepping. I'm going to put all of my weight here and then step down. Come together, all my weight at the top, step down, transfer. All of my weight, stepping out, transferring. The bigger your steps, the more stability you're going to need in your legs. The smaller the steps, the less stability you're going to need. Stability. Side steps. If you're in derby, this is probably super simple and it's going to click right away. Just like doing laterals on the track. You don't need to go so fast. You can go slow. You can go super slow. You can hold someone's hand and go slow. Either way. Whichever is most comfortable for you is the way that you want to go. This is a little awkward for me, so I'm rolling because my feet aren't as straight as being in this position. This is comfy for me. This is my stagger stance that I like. And that's okay, you'll figure that out. Let's go to the top. Alright, well you really want to make sure that you're on a smooth asphalt surface. What that looks like is this. You get close with the rocks. This is smooth asphalt. It's going to be compressed. There's not going to be a lot of gaps. It's going to be very easy to roll over. When you're swerving, you really want to make sure your balance is in the right place so that you can lean. So you're going to come and you're going to put with your knee where you want to go. It's going to happen fast, but you're going to have control when you put more pressure in your back foot. The more you cut inward, the slower you'll be coming back down. The less you cut, the faster you'll get. Okay. So, if you choose to go down backwards on hills, which is what I do, you're going to want to make sure that you're staggered. As you can see right now, my legs are parallel, and that's why I'm not moving. The minute I go this way, I'm going to start to roll. I can step with my foot and stop that roll from happening, like so. But if you're already comfortable going backwards, you want to use your toe stop. That's going to be your control. Now let's talk toe stops. Your toe stop, you really want to make sure it's a comfy toe stop, that it feels good to apply a lot of pressure and use it for a long amounts of time. For me, that's my gumball toe stops. I love them, and that's why I'm wearing them today, because I'm going hill bombing. And this is what it's going to do when I use them. I'm going to stagger my leg. I'm going to activate one toe stop to control my speed, no matter how slow or fast I want to go. Get it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is hill bombing with Missy Savage.